So I use Streamlabs OBS
Oh yeah, I'm familiar.
to record it, and then I clean up the audio and stuff like that, and and then and then post them. So we do so I schedule them every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and that was really just kind of recent, like in the last couple months, because I had so many that I had enough to do every 3 times a week. So the one I did, like two of them I did last week, is what came out like today and Wednesday and Friday. So
Nice. So we should preemptively getting your content together for people to like tune in and have consistent
right.
viewing material, listening material. Because like I'm one of those people where it's like I listen more than I watch. So like if I find it on a podcast network, I'll listen to it on there. If it's on YouTube, thank God I have YouTube Red, so I just play everybody in the background.
Right.
That is not a sponsored shout out, by the way. YouTube contact me.
No, man, you're good. My power went out. We had a big storm the other day, and the power went out for like almost like most of the night. So all my my ring light, all my shit was off, and I had to reset some settings on my computer and everything, because the weird thing was like the Streamlabs, like it changed when it started back up. It had changed one of some input device. I can't remember which one in there. If you ever used it, it's you can set up scenes. So
Yeah, so you can say transitions.
Right. So you can do all your, whatever audio inputs and outputs and all that kind of shit. So that was all changed up. I said, what the hell? So I had to change a bunch of shit. I forgot to do my ring light. So there it is. Now we're good. Hell yeah. Welcome to the podcast, dude.
Thanks. Good to be here. Been watched. Like I actually, I'm not gonna lie. Like I've recently got put onto this. I just like binge listening to like episodes. Like more specifically because of John from Full Auto. Like,
yep.
What a story.
For real. Yeah, it was great talking with him. And I met him through Little Miss Airsoft. Through Jess.
Yeah, Jess. She's awesome as well. She's like one of the coolest people I've ever met on and off the field. Like. Especially, like, you should check her out. Like, she not just because of like airsoft, like she's photography as well. She's phenomenal at it.
Yeah, she's got I think I follow her other Instagram that has the photos or something like that.
Like Little Miss Photography.
That's it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. There it is.
Yeah, in fact, you and I met through that. I think I think you and I were commenting while they were doing a live stream a couple weeks ago or something, the Full Auto.
I think actually
you did a live stream.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, I remember because actually I was put on to you from just earlier on because I did like something for the Beast Coast Open.
Okay.
Which sadly got canceled. Sorry, but yeah, I remember I put up. Oh, let's see if anybody wants to like. What podcast should we try to get on to and talk about this? And the first one that Jess put up was you guys, and I was like, "Oh, I've never heard of it. My God, they had so much content. This is great. Let me start watching. Oh, this is awesome. I can listen to this during the morning while I'm getting ready to go to work. This is great.
Oh, I'm glad you like it, dude. I appreciate it.
Jess, so shout out to Jess. She gave me like some really good content to enjoy, and thank you for putting it out.
Oh, absolutely, man. I really enjoyed talking with her. She's really cool.
Oh yeah, she's like a fountain of ideas. Like when it comes to like builds or like just video ideas. Like sometimes I watch a video, like, damn, I should try that. But I'm not trying to bite her style. I just like I like, and not for nothing. Like I've been like slacking on the content, so it's like, oh man, it'd be great to come back with this kind of quality. Like now it kind of makes me like want to invest in it more. So she motivates people to get work done. So that's good.
Yeah, it seems like it. She's doing a lot.
Mm-hmm. She's very like, her presence is very, very much there in the airsoft community. No matter what it's like, whether it just be like from like doing the full auto lowdowns, like just being like one of the pillars of their group. Like they're really organized over there with her there,
Yeah.
and like I know I believe she's in charge of like the packaging, like the packing for like the orders and stuff like
Mm,
that. So like she plays a big part in the community. Like a lot of people sleep on some of those things too, which is like, oh,
sure.
she's a content creator, but it's like she goes beyond the content. So it's awesome to see that like Full Auto found her and like they worked together and did a thing, because some good stuff coming out from over there.
For sure. That was I think that's one of the things that actually attracted me to her channel was the how much like she was traveling all over the place to do to these different fields, and and filming the whole thing, like film it was like a travel vlog. And
Yeah, it's great content.
yeah, it
It's
was
like
good, man, like
the
really
speed.
good. Yeah, I think that's why when I first found her Instagram, I started watching her YouTube channel. I was like, oh, she's all over the place. And then her posts, uh, she was at the SS Airsoft and then up with you guys, like all back and forth, a bunch of different places. And they went to C7 Vipers field and all that kind of shit. It was all over.
And you know what? It's more than just her going there to like give people in the community the exposure they deserve. It's more than that. It's like they generally just want her there. Her presence is like golden. Like I
Yeah.
think one of her most notable things that I know, like I've witnessed from her as far as content and like being one of those, like like literally it was the perfect role for her. Grimnir Tactical. They had her out
Mm,
for an event playing the role of the press, and bravo. She did a great job. She killed it. And even afterwards, the post content that came out with all the recaps, she was in the shit. She was in the
yeah.
shit. Really cool to see her like really immersify herself in that role, and like just overall, once again, in the sake of giving people good content, it was good content.
Right. Yeah, man. She's so shout out to Jess for introducing us, or I guess connecting us and John, and and for doing all she does for the community because, like I said, that's one of the reasons I wanted to talk with her on the podcast when I first asked her. So a lot of stuff going on now. Uh, so you and I, like we said, you had a well. I first found your Instagram through them
Mhm.
and through I think they were doing a live stream, Full Auto, and you and I were commenting on it. Well, then you did a live stream. It popped up, and I was like, "Oh, let me check it out." On Instagram, and then I was commenting on your stuff, and I
Yeah,
think that's where we talked actually
yeah.
about
That's when
being on the
that's when the first
podcast.
words were exchanged. Yep.
Yeah, it was
But yeah,
cool.
it was really nice and humbling to have you guys, like, you guys came on. I believe that was the first time I've ever witnessed you guys in one of my chats. So it was like
It
you guys came
was.
on, and then you guys showed support for the idea that I had. Sadly, it didn't come into fruition this year, but
Yeah.
that doesn't mean I'm gone. I'm working on it, but we're rescaling things. But
Okay.
it was really nice. I like it when the community from all different walks of life come together and just like
Right.
support one another's ideas. That's kind of really the essence of the whole community aspect. I
For
think it gets
sure.
lost though. I think it gets lost a lot.
Yeah. I'm sure. Yeah. Yeah. There's always, well, people are people. So you're going to have personality conflicts. You're going to have ego conflicts. When you have, people I've talked with in the past few months, they talk about milsim teams and different teams, speed QB teams or whatever. Like, there's always that one person that just doesn't click with the team. That's a very common thing, whether it's airsoft or football or or even your teams at work, whoever wherever you work, you're always going to have those one or two people that just
Don't mesh.
maybe require more attention, so they cause drama, whatever. But or they want to be the big swinging dick in the team and
Yeah,
boss everybody around. So you're always going to have that shit.
you see that often with a lot of the bigger teams out there too. It's like it's kind of sad because to an extent, when like it happens to the big teams. You can imagine how badly it happens to the small guys that go
Hmm.
like there's teams out there that start their teams with the idea of like, I just want to get a bunch of dudes together to go do some cool tactical shit in the woods for a couple of days and just
Yeah.
have my guys. And it's just like nowadays it's like people just they want to clout chase, and it's like even with the competitive team, like I play on a team, I play on Insomnia,
I was just going to
and
ask you that. Oh, is that what the NYI? So it's
yeah, it was New York
gotcha. Okay, so
Insomnia.
it's New
Yeah, New
York
York Insomnia.
Insomnia.
Yeah. But
Now is
I'm
Fajita
still
your nickname?
yes, that's my nickname. Actually, I've had that name for a while.
Okay. How'd you get that?
So I get this question a lot, especially with because I work at Full Auto Arena as of right now. So I get this question a lot with a lot of the customers who are like, why you call yourself Fajita? I'm just like, So funny thing is that there's a TV show I grew up watching called Dragon Ball Z, and there was a character called Vegeta. And then around that same time, I was making a nickname for Airsoft. I was thinking about how funny it was that when you watch that show and listen to the names of all the Saiyans, they're all named after like some type of vegetable or fruit.
No way.
so, so like Kakarot, then there was Kale, and there was Khalifa. Like there's like so many characters. Is
I
like
never even noticed that.
if I'm telling you, it will trip you out if you really notice it. But it's like okay, something's off
Well,
here.
look, this is something that I would probably have to watch. I would notice it if I was drunk or high and watching it. Then I'd be like, uh, look, all those names are like this.
But so I was like, what if I do like my own way of like a double entendre? So if it's like, all right, so it's Vegeta, that's already vegetable similar. So like, we're gonna do Vegeta, Fajita. All right, Fajita. And it was supposed to originally be Fajita, the legendary Saiyan. And then I was like, no, that's a little corny, so we're just gonna call myself Fajita.
Okay.
And then
Yeah.
Fajita stuck. I just kind of went with it, and it took off. And then I joined Fajita. I joined as Fajita for Insomnia, and just now everybody that's
Oh,
Fajita, Fajita,
right.
Fajita.
That's everyone knows you as that. That's it.
Even at work, it's that way. So it's like
Oh,
nobody calls
okay.
me by my real name. Everybody's like, "Oh, that's Fajita over there." And then when people go, "Who?" And like people, and like some people find it funny. Like, "Oh, he doesn't respond to that in real life." And then they try out like Fajita. Oh, yeah, what's up?
Well, have you ever been sitting at a Mexican restaurant and somebody orders a fajita and you go, what?
Oh, that's just that table over there. Relax. Looks
Well, the
good though.
guy, the guy I just talked to, the podcast that came out this morning, Hail Yeah Airsoft. He, so he, it's Hail Yeah. His last name is Hale. So his call sign is Hail Yeah,
Which is fun.
Airsoft, whatever. So he's like, dude, it's so annoying sometimes I'm walking around the field and everyone, people just say hell yeah all the time. And he's like, I'm always like, oh no, they're not talking to me. And then somebody else say it like, oh no, they're not calling me.
No. They're happy. They're excited. They're excited.
Right. Hell yeah. Oh, it's funny.
Yeah, I mean, but like I said, it was just like airsoft like over the years has been a ride for me. So it's like finally kind of finding a niche. So like I focus more on speed soft too. I mean, I do indulge in the milsim too. So like
Okay.
I'm not one of those that goes like, oh, milsim. It's like I believe
Yeah.
there's pros and cons to both sides of it. I like the competitiveness. I like, and to an extent, there's a certain amount of drilling and practice and repetition that has to go into actually being a good team. And like I'm a part of a like that's the thing I was gonna say before is that like a lot of teams lose the essence that at the end of the day you guys came together as a bunch of individuals that really meshed well with each other.
Mm-hmm.
And at a certain point, like I've noticed that it's been going left for a lot of them. Like they start getting noticed or attention, and then all of a sudden it's a big shift in momentum, and now all of a sudden
Uh,
everybody's at the people that were there for the original meaning of the team no longer feel welcomed, and it becomes a whole thing where it's a toxic environment.
hmm. Yeah, that's too bad.
Is
Unfortunately, that is common, and I don't think it's like the majority, like you said earlier. I don't think it's the majority of airsoft. Most of the airsoft stuff is community and helping each other and kind of that kind of thing. But there's been a handful of people, man, that have talked about that same issue with. In fact, one of the guys talked with said, "I don't even like teams in airsoft. I don't even like teams. Like I don't even like when I go to he'll go by himself or just with a couple guys, and somebody that's there that has a formed team." We'll ask them, ask him to be on the team, and he's like, no, like I'll run with, these bunch of guys that just showed up and like underdogs, a bunch of he goes, I'd rather run with Reynolds
Yeah,
instead of being on these teams, because sometimes there's all this macho ego shit going on. It's just kind of annoying. But I think the majority of it uh, is good, right? For airsoft, like good sportsmanship, good teamwork, whatever. Like just in general, most people that play airsoft, whether it's speedball or speed QB or milsims, they're
yeah,
still
it
having
has
fun.
fun.
You know,
Exactly. That's the main reason that I think people forgot now. It's like we're just a bunch of grown dudes play with toy guns.
that's it.
And most of the time it's with it's with younger kids. So like you
Yeah,
gotta remember the kids are like sponges. They absorb what they see. So it's like all of
yeah,
a sudden you got this 10-year-old edgy mag dumping kid making videos on YouTube and getting clicks and views, and now it makes people look bad in the community, overall the industry. Because
yes,
like granted, people are like, and that's what airsoft as an outlet is great because it's like it gives people that control factor. It's like I can upgrade my gun, I can work on my build, I can
hmm
make a DSG build. But it's like yeah, these companies don't make these things for us to like to torment. It's to influence the hobby better, and that's where I see like a lot. That's why a lot of places are like weird at certain fields because it's like, oh, I'm having a bad experience. Well, this is what we do here. I'm just like, why is this normal? Why is this normal?
yeah. Well,
But
you work at a field, so
yeah.
you've probably seen a lot of different, and it's Full Auto Arena, the one that just opened up, right?
Shout out to them. It's a really amazing field. You guys should go check it out.
Yeah, for sure. I want to, for sure. That is when Jess and I were talking, she was talking about it, and then John too, and he was talking about when they were opening up, and that would be really cool. Now, you guys, it's only been open for what, a month?
Yeah, we're going on our first month of being open,
Gotcha.
and everything has been going pretty cool. The community's been like really supportive. Like I know there's been flack about certain things that they've done as a
Hmm.
business, but it's like you got to respect the business owner at the end of the day. This is their livelihood on the line. So at the end of the day, people need
Yeah.
to take note into that. But it's not like they're in two people realize oh, if words do a lot. So it's like they're giving everyone a fair chance. They're being like, hey, if you don't feel like you should be here, talk to us. We'll talk
Right.
about it. We'll figure it out. Like they're not trying to villainize anybody, but like especially as a new field and being in the airsoft game for so long, they're privy to information and they're like they know the game for what it's worth.
Yeah.
So they want to make the experience for those old and new to like really enjoy it and embrace it, and then get into like like a rental kid's not going to be okay with no minimum engagement right off the bat. You need to
Mm.
have that.
Yeah.
It's different as to say it's like hey like if you go to your local field and you see a bunch of rentals. My first thought was like, oh man, I can't wait to run up and not have to say bang bang to these little kids. No, it should be like, how do I make their transition into airsoft a pleasurable one,
Yeah.
and to keep them coming back and to encourage them to get their own equipment, try to learn how to play the sport right, and just have fun.
I
And
hear you.
that's why Full Auto Arena is like one of the I feel like one of the few spots that trying to do that because it's like they're not saying that like hey we don't want you to play this way, but it has to make sense. Like it
Well, you got
has.
to have standards. You got to have a set standard of how you want your business to run, and a business ain't a business without people. So if you don't have anyone show up to the arena to play because it's not run very well, or the assholes are kind of taking over on the field, and running everybody off or whatever, like you got to have standards. So it's props to John and you guys for setting that up early. You have to do that early too, because if you let it go and now people are coming for every weekend for 2 months, and the expectation is, oh, we can play like this, and then you try to make changes later, it's very difficult. So
Mhm.
if you set it up right, right in the beginning, which after talking with John, he seems very smart with that kind of stuff. He's been in, like you said, he's been in the business for a very long time. So a lot of experience, and it sounds like he's good with people. I mean, I've seen his live streams, man. He seems awesome.
Listen, I don't think there's a person on this planet that I know of, because I'm not going to make it fact, that does not like John.
Yeah.
John is just like one of the most wholesome people. Like he listens to what you got to say. He points you in the right direction, especially with airsoft. And he's like, he's to quote what I would say every other time. He's goated. He's just really goated.
That's
Like
awesome. How
he's
did you meet? How did you meet him?
I met him through playing with Insomnia. So
Oh,
like I've heard of Full Auto. I was relatively like I would go to their shop sometimes, but it's like it was more on like a hire buy basis. And I really started getting involved when our coach as of right now, our coach Darren ODB Airsoft, um we picked him up, and then he had a thing with Full Auto going on, and then after a while we weren't even talking about it. It's like hey, we want you to sponsor us, huh? Like none of that happened. We were just glad to have like Darren on our team, and we just really liked Full Auto. As I got to like go there and hang out and meet John, meet Corey, shout out to them. Like I really like I got a sense of family from them, and it was just like awesome. I'm just glad to be within like no. I'm just glad to know them. Long story short, like they're just
yeah.
good people. And then one day, Darren has like, hey, yeah, John would be cool with sponsoring New York Insomnia. And then since then, it's like wow, that's amazing. It's like there's nothing else you can do. You're speechless. And
Right.
then after that, we've just anything John wanted to do or Will, I was immediately on board with. So like when Full Auto Arena was brought up, I was like, I don't care if I'm not getting paid for it. I will come in and I will help build stuff. If I can afford the time, I will come in and do it.
Right.
And just being there and being present and just wanting to be a part of something bigger for the community was my main reason for like just enjoying their company. It's just like yeah, it's been a ride. Like shout out to John once again because we're a team of like I wouldn't say we're not a big team. I'll
Yeah.
put it point blank. We're not like champions. Like we've been in the circuit for long. We're fairly new in this competitive scene, but it's like it's
Gotcha.
cool that somebody saw that we had drive in us and want have the ambition to actually want to go out to do these events, even if we don't come in first every time.
Yeah.
You know, we just got so much love from him. It's like it's impossible to not try to reciprocate that in one way or another. And I'm not even saying that because he's technically my boss now.
Right.
it's not.
Right.
It's not even about that. It's just
Right.
well, I wanted to work for them whether or not they were going to pay me to do it or not. Like, I just
Well,
wanted to
were
be a
you
part
were you playing in a different field? Like, did you? How did you get into
of
airsoft in the first place? Were you young?
it. So
Like a
I
kid?
started
You know.
my journey started like a lot of like people in their teens. I looked it up. I wanted to do it for my birthday, and I
Nice.
took two of my friends with me. My first field I ever played at was Strike Force back when it was in Deer Park. So like they had the original Strike Force out there, and I I played once. My friends didn't really get a kick out of it, but I sure as fuck did. So I started looking into it, getting in, playing like not playing crazy a lot. Like I'd get some games in at cousins, or if somebody wanted to like, I met a friend at a field and they wanted to play, they'd reach out to me, and then I'd go there. Most of the time, I'm using rental equipment. Still having a blast, getting demolished by
Right.
DSGs and all that. And I didn't even know. I knew nothing about Polar Stars or any type of updates then.
Right.
And then I kind of took a break from it, and then I kind of focused more on just living out my school years being a teen. I eventually went into culinary school, went there,
Oh shit.
and then I
So you're a
came
real
out.
chef.
I trade. Can I cook good? Absolutely. Do I make money for it? Sometimes. I do catering. Um, but yeah,
Oh, good. Yeah.
I took a long break from it, and then after a while, because I lived in the city, so I was in Queens, New York, so it was like hard to get out to play airsoft unless like
Gotcha.
one of my friends had a car, or if like one of the people I met at the field's parent was cool with coming to get me from Queens.
Yeah.
So then a place opened up in the city, Area 53, and they were the first airsoft field in New York City that we can go play at. And in the beginning, it was cool because they had rentals, but then New York City, being New York City, says we don't like that, so they couldn't have rentals. So then it kind of pushed me into the door of getting my own gear.
Mm.
And then I finally figured out how to start getting equipment sent to my house without getting the police sent to my door. I started playing at Area 53
uh,
for a little bit, and then eventually I
yeah.
got a job at Area 53, and I
Okay.
stayed as a paintball ref, and then I did the airsoft nights. And
Nice.
then that's actually how I ended up meeting Mickey from Insomnia. He's the founder of the team, and I joined like a small milsim team at the time, and things were kind of like getting boring. I was kind of like, I need that rush of adrenaline when there's no, like, I don't want to just have to feel the adrenaline when I go to these mil sims. I want to feel that every time I play airsoft. So
Right.
I started noticing some of the players at my job at 53 playing playing very speedily, very paintballish, if I say so myself.
Right.
And these guys were the chillest dudes ever. One of them was Mickey, founder of NYI, and the other one was Jai, the co-founder. Shout out to Jai. He's currently he's actually out. He's enlisted, so he's out there. So
Oh,
shout out
okay.
to him. But it was just cool because it was like, hey, like we like it was cool because they wanted to be friends with the referee at first, and then I was like watching him play. I was like, wow, I could probably do that myself. And then one time I go to Strike Force when they moved locations out in Farmingdale. I went out there and then I bumped into them again. And then I started playing more speed softish at that point. And I got to play with them a bunch. And then they started seeing how I moved. They're like, hey, like they knew at this time I was part of a team. And they're like, hey, I know you do Milsim, but if they're like cool with it, you could run with us. I'm like, yeah, I'll see what happens. And then I kind of just like politely said no at first. Like I played it coyly. I'm like, walk away. That way
Yeah.
they don't think you're thirsty. Oh, a couple months go by, and then, like I said, as like I brought up before, sometimes like things get out of hand and people lose the original purpose of the team.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing led to another, and I ended up leaving that team. And that was part of one of the reasons why I think that I had problems with the team because I was playing Speedsoft when we weren't playing Milsims, and they thought I was just going to leave in general anyway. So they eventually just, as soon as they let me go, I was on the phone. I was like, "Hey, Mickey, yeah, I'll play for NYI." And then ever since then, I just chilling with us. Going on like 3 years now. So
Oh
like
shit.
I was there when there was only like three of us, and now we have like almost we're trying to expand up to 12 by the end by the beginning of the
Okay.
next season, and like things have been pretty cool. I've been
That
enjoying
is
it, and
cool,
it's like
man.
and as competitive as we may be, at the end of the day, we're just a bunch of dudes that want to play airsoft together.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And, like they're my brothers more than anything. So
Yeah.
like shout out to the team, like all of you guys. Like they gave me a real home in airsoft, and then
That's cool.
down the line, full auto extended the family a bit. So
Right.
now we're just enjoying being around greatness.
That is cool, man. So now with the speed QB stuff with those teams, uh, how many? I haven't watched a whole lot of them, so I'm not sure about the rules. Like, what is the average uh, number of players you play? Like 5 on 5? Is it
Yeah,
three
five.
on three? 5 on 5?
Like Beast
Okay.
Coast was a separate entity with that with 3v3s. Like we just wanted something small, compact, and that anybody with enough time and enough friends could put together and get involved. But normal format is 5v5 in most cases, and
Okay.
yeah, it's just
So
it's literally
you want to
it's
have
just
extra
a flag.
players so that like the 12, you're trying to get up to 12 players, so you have
We want
uh
a big roster essentially, so
right.
we have a pool of players that we have available that are ready.
I gotcha.
Something fell, ready to travel at any time. So like that's one thing that we noticed with like our team is like life happens and
Sure.
not everybody is available to go fly out or drive out to go compete at these things. So
Hmm.
we really want to give ourselves more opportunities down the road to participate and compete in all these awesome events. So
Right.
we need to expand so that way if I can't make it, somebody else can make it and have a great time in my head. I'll live through you vicariously as long as you're free.
Right.
So
Now, do you guys have
not
like a practice night or something? You guys practice like regularly, once a week
yeah,
or something like
yes,
that? Team practice?
once a week. I can't say any more than that though. Shush, super secret. Because we
Okay.
have But we practice regularly, and then even on top of that, we conduct weekly team meetings so we can really address what's going on and figure out where our strengths and weaknesses lie. We're like an open forum group where it's like, if you play with me, you can tell me what I'm doing wrong. Like,
Yeah,
if you think that's something I should do,
criticism. Yeah,
hit me up.
you don't get butt hurt over, hey, you did this wrong. Next time, do it like this. And you're like, okay, got it.
Even if you do get butt hurt, you're still going to make the improvement, so you're not butt hurt. So you get away. So
Right,
it's a win-win. It's a win-win, really, because it's like I can
right.
get butt hurt, but I'm like, I'm going to go drill this out until I feel better.
There you go.
So
Oh,
yeah,
that's cool. Okay.
yeah, it's been awesome. It's been an amazing ride so far. Like I said, we haven't done many events. We've done, I think, 2 official events. None of them we never really ranked or placed anywhere, and it's more along the lines of we want to refine ourselves as a team before going out and trying to represent ourselves like that.
Hmm.
So like that's why people go like, "Oh, where's Insomnia at?" Well, I mean, we're in the lab trying to perfect ourselves. Like we want to come out and make a statement. We don't want to half-ass anything. And like in two, it's like honestly, we've just been enjoying watching these guys go off. It's
Yeah.
pretty cool. Like I like shout out to CSL because he does after the events. If he doesn't do a live, he'll definitely have the footage up after.
Now, who's
See some
this?
fun, see some phenomenal gameplay. We were in like I think we were in 2 of them. We went to the Turkey Classic, which was a community event.
I saw that your post on your Instagram. I didn't know what that was. What is that? What's the Turkey Classic?
So that was just like an open round robin like community tournament event where like a bunch of teams came out, represented a local field, had fun, and it was just mostly for fun, bragging rights. Like we got to meet some of the other players that like we mess with. Like we like shout out TSA, like Murder Inc. as well. Like we have friends on like
Okay.
all like we like I'm saying like we're like I don't have a favorite team, but all those people were my peoples. Like
Yeah.
I enjoy the conversations I have with these people. But
Well, I've heard of that one. I've heard of Murder Inc.
yeah, they've been really tearing CSL up. Like they're like right now like threat list
They're up there.
their code orange. Like okay, if you get on the bracket with them and you face off, you're gonna have to sweat. Like you're gonna have to play hard because they go hard. They do.
Well, who's the team to beat? Is it
I
SYG?
think right now overall it's Murder Inc.
Is it really?
Yeah, they like at every event that I see them either place or come in first.
Yeah.
And like they have a solid team. They have a lot of players, and like they're not just out here in the East; they're out West as well. So they have like a
Gotcha.
nice big roster, a bunch of
Mm-hmm.
dedicated players, and it's cool. They like hopefully we'll get to that point one day.
Yeah.
And like shouts to them. Like I like right now, would I have scrims with them? Absolutely. Would I be happy if I got paired with them in the beginning of a tournament? Probably fucking not. Probably gonna. We're gonna fight.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna fight, but I'm probably gonna be like, oh fuck.
Right.
It's early. It's early
Yeah, yeah.
already.
Now, are
It's
these
early
things like
already.
double? Most of the time, are they double elimination?
Yeah, they're double
Okay.
elims. So if you
Okay.
lose, you go to the losers bracket, and then you have to fight your way out of there.
Gotcha.
But yeah, we've had some fun. We've had some. I honestly like even as part of a team, it's like forget the tournaments, forget placing. It's the whole journey and like the hanging out, the camaraderie.
Sure.
Like it's either you guys are eating food in celebration or like together, or eating food and sadness together. So it's like
Sure. Yeah. That's it, man.
you're
Yeah.
bonding with like that's a real bonding experience. So it's like even
Sure.
new teams, I encourage them to go out and try that. Like even if it's not like a tournament where it's like oh we're going for glory. Like if it's just like a speed soft night, show up, just have fun. And like you'll enjoy the journey, the in between, the conversations, all the antics that come with it.
Sure.
It's fun.
Now, do you play a certain position? Or do you move to different positions when you play? Or
I'm like I'm like a very versatile player. I could play back and I can play aggressive forward, but like
okay.
I kind of call myself an aggro laner. Like I'll play the back for a bit, but if I see an opening or my teammates are dropping, I'm trying to hold our position up. So I don't want them to get like I'm the guy who tries to keep the ground where it needs to be at. Hopefully, if not, I could switch it up. Like, okay, somebody has to go for the flag. I'm closest to it. I'm gonna go for it.
Okay. Now, do you run a rifle or a pistol when you play?
So right now I run an SSG. Everybody loves the adjustable stock. I hate it. I hate it so much. That thing
Now, is
gives me
this
so
the
many headaches.
what is this now? The SSG? Is that the
It's-
G&G?
Yeah, the GNG
It
SSG01.
looks
So
kind of like a paintball marker.
yes, exactly.
Somebody, in fact, Haley Out was just talking about that. Yeah, okay, SSG.
So I run a modified version of that with a stubby stock. So I put
Gotcha.
a nice classic stubby stock on it and enjoy it like
Yeah,
that. And I run that. So it's still, I get my rifle functionality, but it's very close and tucked in.
right.
I still shoot it like a paintball gun, even with that stock, but it makes me more comfortable.
Yeah.
I'm more comfortable with that. But like my rifle play is very close and tight, and like I'm bringing it to my head and I'm T-Rexing for a bit. So,
That's cool. And you can still you're still versatile with it because it's small.
I mean that, plus I run a high kappa if I have to. So
Gotcha.
I do run a pistol if the situation calls for it. But
Okay.
I've just been so comfortable with that with that SSG. It's just been enjoying it. It's just been
Well, that's what I
beautiful.
was going to ask. I didn't know because I don't know the rules of these, the Speed QB stuff. I didn't know if you were allowed to carry a sidearm or
No, you have to
you
carry
can
one or
carry
the
a
other.
secondary.
So
Okay,
it's
you
like
can
it's
do
one or
both.
the other. So yeah, it's literally a class system to it. So it's like if you're a
Yeah.
back player, even if you're a forward player, you're only allowed to carry if you choose an AEG or a rifle, you have like mag restrictions, how many you can have,
Right.
capacity wise, how much it can hold, stuff like that. But like pistol play, like if they like certain tournaments allow adapters, some of them don't. The ones that don't allow it is more of a skill gap because now you have to use gas mags and now you can't just pop 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 pop. So like, now you have to really play your role.
Mm,
So it's like if you're a forward player, you're running a pistol because you're really not trying to shoot as many people as possible and get eliminations. You're trying to get to center X, grab the flag, and get ready to score and wait for an opening. Like you'll see players like that play pistol, like they'll peek up, pop up, they'll snapshot somebody, like we'll try to one ball them. That's it. You don't see them try to like pop 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 pop. Like that's what a rifle player does.
mm. Okay.
And if anybody like, and I tell everybody this, like if they ask me about like what's speed soft, I literally tell them like watch NXL paintball.
I follow them on Instagram. Yeah, I
It's
follow
like
a lot of paintball
I still
paintballers
watch
on Instagram.
paintball.
Yeah,
I,
it's
and
fun, man. It's fun to watch. You
and
could
I
probably
come
learn
from
something, right? Is that what you?
yeah, it's pretty much two sides of the same coin, honestly.
Right.
And I might get shit for saying that. I really don't care. It's two
I don't.
sides of the same coin. It's
I
like
don't see how somebody could not think that it is. Like,
my thing is like me as a Speedsoft player, I could take the knowledge I have from Speedsoft, go to a paintball field, hit the airball course,
yeah,
and all the callouts will make sense to me.
gotcha.
I'll understand exactly what they want me to do, exactly who's where, why
Mm,
they're there, and what they're doing. It's just a matter of projectile and
right.
certain tweaks to it. Like it's not like NXL where it's like it's elimination, then you get to the other side. We replicate the same thing to an extent. We have center X. There's an objective for us to go to, and we have to bring it to the enemy side. Same thing in NXL. You need to go to the other team side and hit their buzzer.
Yeah.
So it's like I said, it's two sides of the same coin. That's why it's like, it makes me laugh when people, like, especially like a Milsim dude that goes way too hard, goes like, "Hey, why did you play paintball then?" It's like, one, I save way more money on ammo. Two, I get less dirty.
That's every single person. It's the same thing. They're like, they used to play paintball and now they play airsoft, and they're like, I don't miss having all that shit all over me all the time. Like, uh, I was watching a live stream a couple Saturdays ago with Task Force podcast. Okay, and they were
Shout
saying
out to
something.
them.
Huh? Yeah,
Shout out
dude,
to the boys. I love them.
they're
Those are
awesome. That might have been one of the videos we were watching together. We were commenting on, I think, when I first saw your name come up or whatever. a few weeks ago, but they said something on there one time, just a couple weeks ago, saying how could something about if you're getting kind of like airsoft burnout or whatever, how could what could you do or whatever? And I put in paintball, like I put it all in caps with X. I was kind of joking around, but I was kind of serious, and they and I said for the color, it's colorful. So
Yeah.
I
I
mean,
mean, yeah.
even just that, like if you're tired of the milsim thing, like, okay, I got to get all this fucking gear on, all this shit, this heavy ass shit. We're all just blending into the woods all the time. If you get burned out with that, just go play paintball for a couple weekends, like,
Ball course.
yeah,
And it's like, and the thing is with it too is like I like paintball for the only reason I approve of the paint being used is it's a clear indicator of hitting somebody.
you
It's a
never have
very
to worry about not calling your hit,
I
bro.
never have to scream like I'm not screaming, call your hit, call your hit. I just scream, get him out, and then a ref will come. Yeah, you sure did get hit, buddy. Get out.
Yeah,
It's like a ref, when especially being one in airsoft, it's more challenging at taxes. Now I have to make a judgment call on whether or not this
uh,
guy's bullshitting me or not, or if he's not pulling his head, or you're just bad at aiming. I don't know. That's why I always say, like,
that's got to be tough.
that's what I'm saying. For the people who have trouble and are the ones that are always like screaming, "Oh, this guy doesn't call his hits," get a tracer and a camera.
There you go,
People
tracers.
respond well to people. I'm not saying it's like, oh, be a snitch, but it's like if it's really bothering you, record this person and bring it to the management's attention.
Yeah,
Simple. Let them do their jobs. But
yeah,
if not, get a tracer. Get a tracer.
right.
And it's just like, especially with paintball being, like, I've come from the industry of, I know a lot of paintballers. Some of them are in actual, like, shout out to like my boy Jonah. Shout out to Nick. They play division. I think they're Division 4 now. They're not even Division 5 paintball, and they play NXL. And it's like I come from that background. I watch
Yeah,
paintball a lot. I've been in the industry with paintball, and it's like one for sure less hit shrugging because I'm less likely to take 3 or 4 shots or 7 shots from a paintball gun than a BB. That's just science. I don't want that. So I'm
right.
gonna, and it's a very. I see a lot of like. I really don't see much complaining from paintballers when they play. It's either the refs nip it in the butt and they get on it, or it's like, because like I said, it's a big thing about integrity and like honor for airsoft. For paintball, it's like, I know you're cheating. You're covered in
Yeah,
the evidence.
exactly. Like that when when I first started learning all this stuff about airsoft, a few years ago when we started our channel and I started getting, watching some stuff, and I was like, and then especially since I've been talking with people on here, with the podcast, the no call your hit, the not calling your hit thing is that was new to me because we didn't have that in paintball. Like it was very clear when somebody got hit. And especially me and my guys, like most of the people we play with, we do pickup games, just a regular open play on a Saturday somewhere. And if we weren't at my friend's, parents' house or whatever, but it was like, there was like, we were wearing t-shirts. So
Yeah,
if somebody wiped it off, we're like, bro, I know I hit you in the arm. You pull it up, you got a fucking welt. Like you're like, it's there, bro.
yeah.
But we never had that issue. It was a non-issue. Like it was never really talked about.
I
Like
mean, I
this,
come from a
not calling your hit thing. I was like, what?
paintball aspect. I come from like the call it or bleed era. So that's what they called it. The call it or bleed. Like that was your
Gotcha.
decision. Like a lot of the fields in the beginning adopted that. They were like, honestly, it's pointless to cheat because why do you want it? First of all, if you like cheating and like getting overshot, you have a serious issue. You just
Right.
generally like pain and you're angry and you woke up wanting violence. But a lot of the fields, like you'll see even now at certain paintball fields, and I'm not even trying to take a stab at the paintball industry. It's you're playing. We're expected to play the way you're supposed to play, and at
Yeah.
this point, with paintball being as long as it's been around, at this point, if you don't get that, you're gonna have a bad time because you chose to have a bad time.
Right.
Like a guy playing paintball is 90%. I don't think most of their goal is to overshoot people. They just want people to play right,
Yeah.
and like that's like kind of like a weird different fixation for airsoft is like Now, I'm not saying it's everybody, and I don't have to call it. I'm not going to call it anybody specific, but it's like people take pleasure in doing this shit now. And it's
Sure.
not cool. It's not
So
cool.
as somebody like yourself that has a background in both, right? You played a lot of airsoft, a lot of paintball, you know, you still follow whatever. Like, let me ask you the age old question: which one hurts worse?
You know what? Being somebody who got paid to get shot by both intentionally, um, honestly, for me, there's no pain difference. It's just a matter of do you like giant bruises or small bruises? It's that to me. It's like because when you rough, it's like I get hit by stray shots all the time,
Mm-hmm.
varying FPSs. So it's like, eh. Like when I played paintball for a little bit, I really didn't play much paintball, but like,
Yeah.
I was like roughing and working in that industry. Like after a certain point, like I could tell you your FPS by getting hit. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you're definitely shooting. I shoot like in the 400 range, dude. I was taking to the chrono. They're shooting 400. Yeah, no. No. And like I got shot from like 68 cal to 50 cal first strikes. All those paintballs, they all suck.
Oh, that's wild. I didn't even know they
Yeah.
had a different caliber of those because when I was playing, we just had, you know, the tip 98. It was all the, you know,
Oh, the
68.
classic.
Yeah.
The
Classic,
boomstick.
bro. It was awesome. Like I had a good time doing that, you know?
I think that's the purest form of paintball. Just the standard rental equipment and just putting
Yeah.
them all in one field and letting them explore a field and having fun. But it's like, but it's just, I mean, in a sense, paintball and airsoft are like the same. There's both two aspects to that
Right.
sport. You got the mag fed players who are all about immersion. Those were the first strikes come in, and they hurt like a bitch. I'll tell you
Mm,
this now. So even if they don't hit you fully, like if they graze your skin, they will cut you.
really?
Yeah, they have
So
little
those are
plastic
the mag
skins.
fed ones?
Yeah, they have little. They're paint. They're like half. It's like literally a paintball cut in half with a plastic fin attached to the back, so it spins when it comes out of the barrel.
Oh shit! So it's like rifled. So it goes.
Yeah, it literally is literally
Oh
like
my
I
god!
said. You got speed soft milsim, then you have
Right.
airball magfed. They're they're both two of the same coin. They just switch it up. Some like I said, the difference between magfed and NXL paintball is that they're shooting each other either in the woods or on like a formatted regulation field. The
Right.
only difference is the same thing with Speedsoft and Milsim here. It's like either you're doing an op with objectives and clear goals, or you guys are competing.
Yeah.
And that's what we really got to. That's why I was like, that's what we really got to understand. That at the end of the day, it's like, dude, stop going like, Milsim is blah blah blah, and Speedsoft
People
is blah blah blah. It's
people
like, dude,
always find that, bro. They always do that shit.
it's weird because at the Milsims you'll get the paintballers that play speedball going to the Milsim ones, the MagFed events, and they all have fun together and get along.
Right.
Isn't that funny how that works?
It's weird.
It's
It's
how funny
weird.
how a bunch of dudes could go to a field and play a game and be like-minded about it, no matter what kind of style they play. I
Right.
don't. Not in a perfect world, maybe never.
We
But
like we didn't have. There was no. At least from what me and my friends, we had never heard of an actual milsim for paintball back in, you know, '95 when we were playing. But it was there was speedball, and then there was everyone that just would get big groups together. Like somebody
play
put up
woods
a
ball.
flyer at work and play bush ball. Yeah, we'd go out in somebody's woods, you know, whatever, and do the milsim thing, like our own thing. But none of us, like most of us, switched between both all the time. Like it
Yep.
was, and nobody ever said in paintball. Nobody ever said, "Oh, you'd like to go out in the woods and play." I only do speed, you know, speedball. Like, uh, we never heard that. So when I had this airsoft thing, I was like, "What the hell?"
And 90% of the time when you say that, like, oh, I'm going to this event and it's going to be like 3 days in the woods, their first answer is, ew, you do that. Where is that at? Like, are there tickets available still? Like, do they allow me to use my Lux? Can I use my Lux? Oh, I'm going. I'll see what faction you on. I'll see you there, dude. It's, I mean, and it's like, and not for nothing. Like I said, with any hobby or sport, there's always like going to be good eggs and bad eggs in the
Sure.
community. There's always going to be people who live for that kind of drama. But it's like, at the end of the day, like that's why I was like, I don't think it's brought up anymore, but I still feel it. There's always been that paintball versus airsoft beef.
Oh, it's Yeah, it's always going to be, man. I don't know
And
why.
it's like people would get excited if their friends that play paintball like, oh, I got him to play airsoft. I've converted him. I've saved him.
that's that's exactly how people act, man. Like I'm gonna convert this person over to, I'm gonna convince them how much better airsoft is than paintball, or vice versa. And it just comes down to people's personalities sometimes, or their first experience that they had, and or memories. Like if they had good memories playing paintball when they were younger because their dad did or whatever, instead of airsoft, they might like that better, or they might get into airsoft and like it better. Just like some people prefer, the speed stuff or the mill sims. Like it's just, that's people in general. But why make it, such a, oh, I like this. If you don't like it, you're stupid. you know?
But like for me, like especially with younger kids, when they ask me about speed soft versus motion when they're fresh, I give them like because you remember they're kids and they kind of like, especially the newer ones, this generation. Anyways, I have to explain to them in a very simple manner, and it seems to come across very clearly, and they know exactly what they want once I say this. I tell them it's like, think of airsoft as, like as a like Modern Warfare 2, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. If you want to do the cool stuff like hang out in the woods and stuff, you play the campaign. If you want to shoot a bunch of people that you don't know and like try to win stuff, that's multiplayer. So it's either you're playing campaign or the multiplayer. Just beware, the multiplayer can get a little spicy. Just like in video games, it gets a
Speaking
little
of
spicy.
spicy, isn't that your Instagram name or tag or whatever?
The
Extra
extra spicy,
spicy,
yeah.
extra spicy fajita. Oh shit.
Because it's like when people associate that, they assume that with like toxic gameplay, but it's like it's more of like quick-witted, fast-witted humor. I try
Oh,
to act
okay.
like playing, so it's like if I get a trade, I try to have something funny to say. Like, I'm not trying to say like if how can I put it? The way the kids can understand. I'm like trying to be like I'm like the Deadpool of airsoft. No, let me not even say that because there's Tristan Art and Airsoft is the Deadpool of airsoft.
Who
He
is it?
just Tristan Art and Airsoft, the Airsoft meme king.
Oh, Oh, wait. I think I have seen him. I think I follow him on
You
Instagram.
can find him on Task Force podcast.
Yeah,
He's always doing something with
that's
them.
right. That's where I saw him. Okay. Oh, he's the
Yeah,
Deadpool of it. Okay.
yeah. He's like he plays at Ricochet Tactical over here in New York, and it's a small CQB field. And he runs a 40 millimeter grenade launcher and booty taps people all the time. I was a
Uh,
victim. I was a victim of that a
oh
lot.
shit.
So shout out to Tristan.
Nice. Hell
But
yeah.
yeah, I mean it's just like I feel like a lot of the players that come into the sport, especially a lot of them are young males. So it's like and as somebody who plays a lot, I don't play a lot of open play, but like when I do, I try to encourage them as much as possible. Because like honestly, they came there to let's be real, they came there to have a Call of Duty moment,
Mm-hmm.
and they don't know how to do that here. They don't know how to do that yet. So
Right.
like setting them up for things like that, like there's a guy that's like a like in the community that's like been a good pariah of this for like some time, and I've mentioned it like years ago. There's this guy named Outer Heaven Airsoft, and he's like a big Metal Gear Solid fan, the old PlayStation game. So
Nice.
there's like a whole like bunch of videos I've seen where he's rallying up the rentals, like, come on, let's go, we gotta push, and getting them to move successfully. Because you know what, it takes that dude in the cool gear to motivate a bunch of young people to have a cool like that was their Captain Price. For
That
all
is
intents and
cool.
purposes, that was their Captain Price, and we need to see more of that from like both sides of the community. Like when I'm at work, I try to involve Speedsoft in the rotation. So it's like,
Gotcha.
all right, we'll play team deathmatch, we'll play capture flag, we'll play timer game, but let's we have a decent amount of players, nothing too crazy. I'm not gonna like do it on a pack day, but like a calm day, I'll be like, hey, you guys never played Speedsoft? Would you like to try it? And they love it
Yeah.
because there's somebody showing them how it's done, how it works, and it's not just a bunch of confusing noise to them.
Right.
It's being laid out in a way where it's acceptable. So even the ones that like play milsims. I've told me they played milsims. They said I've never played Speedsoft. I've never wanted to, and then they try it after I explain it. They like it. They're not going to commit to it and make a team tomorrow, but
Right.
they'll play that game mode with them. They'll play that game mode with all the Speedsofters because it's like, oh, dude, like this is great. Like it makes sense. It's balanced and I'm especially because I'm like choosing the matchups very carefully. I'm not trying to overwhelm players.
Right.
But it's like for the ones that really want to try it and like get the full essence, they'll be like, yeah, put me against whoever. And that's the stuff that I love because it's like, who knows what's going on in their head? All they know is that they want to do it right now, and that's all that matters to me.
Right.
So yeah.
Cool. Hell yeah.
So yeah.
What's your next big thing for Airsoft? You guys have more tournaments coming up that your team's playing, or what's your team's plan for this year?
Nothing as of yet, as far as competitive wise goes. We're spending most of this time just refining our teamwork, and like there was like a big pause of like action where like people had life stuff come up. So
sure.
we're slowly getting ourselves back together and making sure we're one fully formed working machine instead of just a bunch of weird cogs turning at different speeds.
Gotcha.
Okay. So just but like why I will say this is like for those who are interested in watching the competitive stuff, check out CSL. Even if we're not competing, I'll always sponsor them because they do a lot for the competitive scene, especially Speedsoft. So yeah, check them out.
Is that a team?
No, that's the competitive Speedsoft league.
Oh.
It's ran by a man named Keegan who was the leader of a Speedsoft team, TSA.
Gotcha.
So they host a tournament series like every year. There's like seasons to it. So like, there's seasons, rankings. There's a grand final. There's quarterfinals. There's seeding. There's like a whole seeding tournament. Like it gets pretty serious. And that's why we're taking the time now to refine ourselves as a team so we can match that energy.
That's cool. Hell yeah. All right, brother. Well, listen, man, it's been awesome talking with you. Had a good time meeting you, and good to have you on here. I appreciate it.
Oh, thank you for having me on. It's great to be in the presence of somebody who's just awesome and down to earth. Like I said, I listened already, so I knew what I was getting into. I knew I was going to have a good time here.
Oh, good. I'm glad, dude. Yeah, we're just BSing.
Definitely would come back again. 10 out of 10.
I appreciate it. I just made a new friend tonight. That's what I did.
And by all means, whenever you get the chance to or find the time, come down to full auto arena. I'm there. This is just for anybody who wants to just come play and check it out. I'm there Wednesday to Sunday. Every single day they're open.
Gotcha.
Come check it out. Try it. See how you like it. They're a great field. They want the feedback from the community so they can constantly make it better and make it what everybody wants it to be. Just as long as it's nothing bad. We don't want it to be anything bad.
Of course. And then, so shout out to Full Auto for sure. And then, where can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram mostly. I have a YouTube channel. Nothing really goes up right now because I'm in like work mode and trying to figure out worthy content. So you can find me at NYI Fajita. You can also check out our team, NYC Insomnia. I think we're revamping the page, so it might not be active, but if it is, check it out. I also run Beast Coast Open, as I mentioned before. We're not doing it this year because I think we came in a little hot and heavy for some folks and they weren't prepared. So we're going to take a step back, reevaluate what we want to do, and maybe make it make sense for everybody who thinks it doesn't make sense. So
gotcha.
Stay tuned for that. You can check that out, Beast Coast Open, on Instagram as well. But yeah, that's all I got.
Awesome, man. Well, thanks again, man. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you having me on. It's been great.
Absolutely. All right, brother. Have a good night.
You as well.